Wilson, owner of Duchess Bridle and Saddle and Society of Master Saddlers Qualified Saddle Fitter, back with part 3 in the series, Things Your Saddle Fitter Wished You Knew. The first topic I've been discussing is your horse opinion matters. In the last video, I introduced you to my horse Alak, who has very strong opinions about how his saddle should feel. After he did a handstand on her saddle, I decided to check my own saddle to make sure it wasn't a source of discomfort. The first thing I did was take a new set of wither and back tracings, since the last time I had traced his back was January 31st, earlier in the year. He's typically thinner over the winter and fuller over the warmer months. I've discovered this body shape change pattern over the last few years that I've owned him. As a saddle fitter, though, one of the most important pieces of data is the wither and back tracings. Over time, this will show the conditional changes in the horse's muscle density, or lack thereof, and fat distribution in the saddle bearing area. A set of wither tracings marks a single point in time of the horse's condition. It's not a golden ticket that represents your horse's shape forever. Much beyond 6 weeks to 3 months, I would consider them no longer accurate. I always do the initial tracing in black marker, and each subsequent tracing is done in a different color. They're overlaid, so changes in muscle shape can be easily seen from one date to the next. I'll be going into more detail about wither tracings in a future video, but for a frame of reference, I wanted to show you where on the horse's body the tracings are taken. You can see pieces of thin masking tape on this horse's body, marking specific anatomical areas to be measured. The first piece of tape is the back edge of the shoulder blade. The second piece of tape is the spot where the first tracing is taken. This records the shape of the withers where the pommel arch fits over top of. The third piece of tape is the deepest part of the back, approximately T13 or 14. The last piece of tape is placed along the angle of the last rib where it articulates with the spine. The tracing is taken where the last rib joins the spine, not at the back edge of the rib. The last tracing taken records the shape of the top line, which is not marked with tape. This is Alak's tracings. This set of tracings was started on June 11, 2022 to the present. The last two dates are circled in red, January 31st, 2024, which is the pink line, and May 11th, 2024, which is the brown line. Each line represents the 4 areas of his back that were measured. A, which is the withers, B, the deepest part of the back, C, the last rib, and D, the top line balance. The top arrows are pointing to Alak's most current tracing, taken on May 11th, and the bottom arrows are pointing to Alak's wither tracing taken on January 31st, earlier this year. Collectively, there's about an inch of difference between the two tracings, and the spread between most tree sizes is approximately half an inch. Knowing that the pommel fit of my saddle was a medium, I wanted to compare the angles of the tree points to Alak's current May 11th tracing. Sure enough, the tree point angles were too close at the bottom and gappier at the top. The long of it was that the pommel fit was now too narrow. In this case, I was able to widen the tree points to reestablish the parallel, even weight-bearing fit between the pommel and the wider width of Alak's withers. After adjusting the tree point angles in my saddle a tree size wider, my ride with Alak was much improved. His walk was freer, his shoulder movement was better, and he had a more forward trot. I haven't tried cantering yet, as I'm giving Alak time to adjust to the new fitting, as he can be a little unforgiving about an ill-fitting saddle. I also need a few rides to get my own confidence back, as I'm sure you can understand. Stay tuned for our next topic, the horse's back shape. We'll be discussing the correct anatomical aspects of fitting a horse's back for a saddle, and it isn't the shoulders. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share if you care.